Is it kind of comfortable good, or is it too much?
It's like on the muscle, it's comfortable.
Yeah, when I get down on the bone, you hate it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold this right in this area for like 60 seconds. Can you handle this? Or is it too much?
No, it's good.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then go again. I'm gonna pin, and I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna work along. Whoa, sorry about that. Got a little crazy there. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Warren and Amelia here at Chiropractic, and I'm partnered with a physical therapist today, which is not usually how I start off those videos, but I've actually watched their videos when I was in chiropractic school a ton, and from an educational standpoint, they exposed me to McKenzie method early on in school, and I highly recommend. They do a great job of explaining really great, helpful ways of taking care of yourself at home, but then they also branded a massage gun. So they're like, hey, you want to partner with us? And what a compliment, honestly, to be able to get to partner with them, to utilize one of their tools, to give them a shout out, all the above. It's kind of surreal for us as a small business here in Towson to be able to partner with one of the larger physical medicine groups on the internet, on YouTube. So thank you, and grateful to get to use this. So I think massage guns we're gonna figure out if we like this right now while we're using it. We haven't even tried it out. We're going to get real life experience here with Amelia, collegiate tennis player, and so I already know kind of some areas where we're going to come, but the reason you clicked on this video potentially is that you saw that this is the top 5 most useful points on the body and techniques for using a massage gun at home. And I just know this from utilizing soft tissue work within the office, having massage guns in the past, as well as just knowing where there's kind of chronic or usual kind of suspects, if you will, from a tension standpoint in the body. And so we're going to focus on a common point here, in her forearms and the sides of her hips and her calves. And I'm going to show you some techniques while we work on those areas. So easily, by far, the most common spot where people are like, hey, do you mind working on this area a little bit? And soft tissue wise is going to be right here in that shoulder neck area, sitting, stress, etc. Physiologically, we hold tension there, I think, as well as from a day-to-day standpoint, we tend to kind of put a little bit more work there than that area likes to have, and so we feel tension. So let's see how this bad boy takes care of some of that. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right. So unboxing of the actual. I don't think they asked us to do this, but I want to do it. This is my first time unboxing anything. Let's see how user friendly this massage gun is. All right. Cool. So it looks like I got some different head pieces for different areas of the body. This is good for like thoracic spine or around the paraspinal muscles. You can kind of see how it can. Go ahead and face that way for me if you don't mind, Amelia. You can run along the course of the spine, so if there's a tension point, you can hold it in those different areas. This is going to get into some knots and trigger points. We'll save this one for the forearms and for the feet, and then this is definitely kind of your all encompassing one, if you will, the deeper setup. So let's see how she attaches on. Have you messed with this a little bit already? A little bit. Okay, so it just spins right in there. Nice. I'd imagine it's going to get going right. It's got a nice weight to it, a little bit of firmness, which allows me to kind of, I like that because it's going to help with some of the kickback probably. We're going to hold down the power button. Turns right on. I'd imagine click goes up. I'm right. Okay. Not loud at all. Some of the other ones, like the really nice one that I've had in the past, was extremely loud. This is quiet. Hey, if you get one of these, you can check out the link below. There's a discount for it. We don't benefit at all. I'm just excited to be a partner with them, and it's just cool to get to support them. They've definitely helped me on my clinical growth, and we could use a little bit more massage guns in this world, so why not? The right shoulder is where I would focus right away. I'm going to come into this. So from an anatomy standpoint, if you're doing this at home, if you're working on your loved one or a friend or yourself, you're going to find the edge of the shoulder blade. You don't want to hit bone when you're using massage. Try to go for that muscle. The trap muscle is a common spot, but there's a trigger point that sits right below the trap. So if I run down the base of her neck to where her shoulders meet, and then I just come in a little bit and push that direction, I'm going to find that trigger point or that knot, and that's the area I'm going to work. There's 2 techniques that I usually kind of stick by relative to working on these areas. One is ischemic compression, so I'm going to hold it there in that area eventually, okay? And the other is pin and stretch, and I'm going to show you this is how I take care of people. So for this area in particular, hey, just tell me when I'm at like a 3, 4 out of 10 intensity. Is it already pretty intense?
Yeah.
Is it kind of comfortable good, or is it too much?
It's like on the muscle, it's comfortable.
Yeah, when I get down on the bone, you hate it, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe not hate, is that the word?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be in the trap right here. When I get to that firm spot right there, it's kind of giving me a little good kickback.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold this right in this area for like 60 seconds. Can you handle this? Or is it too much?
No, it's good.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you want it to cause a little bit of change in that tissue, so you kind of have to work for that a little bit. Everybody's different in terms of how much pressure they use or how much pressure I use on them to create that change. That's why I gave you that, like, is it 3, 4 out of 10 intensity? That probably feels lovely right there.
Yeah.
That's purely the trap. Alright, so I'm going to sit on this for 60 to 90 seconds, and for the video's sake, I'm not going to do all that. That's one way we can treat the trap, and then we'll show you on the tighter side, okay? So, like I said, find the base, come across, here's the trap, I'm going to hook behind it, and I'm just going to give my fingers a little bit of feedback when I get to that trap. You can kind of angle this down as well. You're just going to find yourself kind of rolling off different tissues. So 60 to 90 seconds of compression, and then Amelia, take your right ear to your right shoulder. And then bring it all the way to the left and stretch it out. Here's your pin and stretch. So she's going to move that muscle and lengthen it. And I'm going to hold some pressure on it when she does it. So do it again, right ear, right shoulder. And I'm going to lock in on that. Go ahead now and go all the way over, over, over. A little more intense, right, Amelia?
Yes.
And I would argue when we work that out and spend about 2 to 3 minutes doing this in that general area, and that's kind of what I would lean into relative to working on a space. That's plenty of time. 2 to 3 minutes, pin and stretch, 60 to 90 seconds of compression on the tight points or the sensory points. So far, so good? Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go into the forearms now, okay?
Okay.
Let's, for the sake of try a different head in here. So this is going to be a little bit more broad, and it's got a little feedback, like almost like a spring in it. So it's going to be a little more forgiving on your forearm. You might like it on the contact side of things. Tennis players, golfers, you're a golfer now too.
I'm trying some golf.
I think most of us are just trying some golf as well.
Yeah.
Right there with you. Feel good already?
Yeah.
Go.
I can just feel the tightness already.
So it's kind of cool. There's so many different approaches to treating people in acupuncture. There's these homeostatic points. This is homeostatic point 1. This is also a really common area where people get elbow pain, and they call it tennis elbow, but it's lateral epicondylitis is another way of calling it. And depending on what language and culture, I'm sure there's different names for it out there. Either way, hurt here, right? Like people hurt here often, and this is a common like tension point when you use your arms a lot. So yeah, fill in the blank on what that is, whether a sport that might be, or workouts you might like to do. We tend to get a little hyper-focused on this area in clinic relative to treating this tissue, but really I always look globally, like into shoulder and mid-back and neck. They definitely can play a role, but it's usually more so like, hey, how many times did you go rock climbing last week? And how many times have you ever done it? Oh, okay, it's a little bit of more management around activities is the big goal too. So here's my compression. I'm going to find that, like for me, I just know what it's supposed to feel like underneath my hand, and I can palpate through the head of this massage gun to see, like right there, I'm right on the spot. And then just the slight little smile from Amelia lets me know I'm on that sensory point in there. And I'm on just like where those tendons come in and attach relative to the extensor mass. So these muscles all extend your wrist, extensor mass, extensor tendon, right? Radial side, attach over on the radial head. So 60 to 90 seconds of compression. And then, hey, do me a favor. Extend your wrist. Pin, flex your wrist. Wait for it. The real benefit happens at the end range relative to a lot of treatments that we do in the office. You've seen people get adjusted before. that would be an N range to a joint. You'd see a McKenzie treatment, that'd be an N range to joint tissues. Pin and stretch and active release technique, which is, when done the right way, is like so helpful in conjunction with those other things. It's all about like kind of finding that. So right now she's not there. Now go ahead and bring your wrist to your forearm a little bit more for me. Give me a little extra effort. Oh, hey. And now I'm really at full stretch, and then come back. Good. And then go again. I'm going to pin, and I'm going to stretch. I'm going to work along. Whoa, sorry about that. Got a little crazy there.
It's okay. I can't really feel it. It just like jumps a little bit.
Yeah, with that bang.
Yeah.
Because this head is
doesn't
not
hurt.
this head's a little bit more forgiving that way.
Okay.
And I think that as it relates to people using the different heads in this, I would start with the softer stuff first and see how much benefit like you can get with it, and then work into some of the more firm heads. I'm sure there's more descriptions in there, but that's a general rule of thumb. Like, make it kind of comfortable for yourself. All right. So 2 most common areas, I would say, relatively speaking, we've done so far. That shoulder trap, levator scap, upper back area where people are just like, hey, can you just squeeze my shoulders? This kind of does that a little bit in a better way. And then you can add movement to it. The forearm. Okay, next one is going to be, let's do the pec. All right, and so pec's easy to do. Over top of that shirt, you're fine right where you are. Lie on your back for me. From New Zealand. If you can't tell already, not Australia, wrong, not an Aussie, but she's a Kiwi. And you're from what city? You're from Auckland? No.
I live in Wellington.
Well, but that's
I
not
was
where you're
born
from.
in Auckland.
You're born in Auckland, and then she lives in the capital of the North Island.
Yes.
Wellington,
You're
which
right.
hosts the Sevens tournament. that
you went to.
Don't tell anybody. No, I'm just kidding. I had a fun time at that tournament. And then, and you came here for school. You came here for tennis.
Yes.
More so tennis than school. In other parts of this world, we don't have an entire industry around sports in college. And New Zealand would be one of those places where you can't like go and compete for a university and get scholarship and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Pec. Okay, 2 branches, minor, major. Minor is more often the problem that I see. They run 2 different ways, okay? So relative to working on the pec, and then bring your arm up a little higher for me. Yeah, right there. Pec major is going to be a little bit more horizontal, and then pec minor is going to be vertical. And so you can palpate those different heads, and then really it's just a matter of hitting those sensory points nice and easy, okay? So here's going to be your sensory point for major coming across here, and then minor is going to be like right in this area, and you'll right there, and you'll feel kind of a little bit of why do I feel that through my shoulder blade? This is really good for stress relief, body work in general. Hopefully this normalizes this for people to want to get more care from their PT, LMT, or chiropractor. And I'm a chiropractor, like I was saying. But a lot of different skill sets that compound each other. So you can see that chiros act like PTs sometimes, PTs act like chiros sometimes, massage therapists do their thing too. So in the upper back tension, kind of that upper cross syndrome, tight here and here type of thing, the pecs are usually a component where they get a little sensitive and you're a little tighter.
A little sensitive.
She's a tennis player too. Like if this baseball pitchers, all the people that are overhead in nature, but a lot of swinging motions. She's on fire right here.
I think it's also a little ticklish.
Okay, take your left hand and put it right next to the head, not on top of it, like right there.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Still ticklish?
Whew.
Or just intense?
Both.
Okay.
I've also never
Had
had
your
a
password.
massage here before, so
Never?
I don't think so.
Have you had one ever before?
Like a massage?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
A what?
A massage?
A massage, yeah.
Yeah.
A massage.
Yeah.
We have a massage therapist upstairs that combined chiropractic and massage. I got you. And then go ahead and move that finger now. You should be used to me by now.
Okay.
And then here's pec minor. It's underneath the collarbone. I'm going to go over a little bit more. Get right on top of your shirt. There's the spot. And I'm going to work my way down just a little bit. be gentle in this area. You're overneath the ribs, over top of the ribs, over top of your lung field. You don't need to put too much pressure on this stuff. And again, it's more about patience when you're doing myofascial work. It's not just like you're physically changing the length of this tissue. Think about it, right? Think of it as almost putting good input or sensory input in to create a different tone or change in the tissue. So like, don't need to murder yourself to make this happen, but a little bit of uncomfortable makes a faster change. 60 to 90 seconds of compression. If I want to move her in this position, she can kind of do this on her own. She could probably use her left hand to do it. Whoa, things just got up a notch, and that's kind of where you need to go when it comes to making positive changes. Is just stress it slowly. All you? All you? Yep. This is still kind of the pec major move, and if I want to go minor, drop your elbow down to the floor, and I bring the rib cage up underneath me. So it's like kind of almost bringing her thoracic cage forward, and it's at the same time it's putting length to that pec minor tissue. Okay, really has I think where you get to see this change, if you will. Yeah, it's got a nice little punch to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like this head. Is you'll see it, you'll feel free in your swing, you'll feel less tension at the end of your day, you'll feel more in control of your swing, like it's coming from your hips more when it comes to your golf and tennis. Okay, let's do this. Go on your stomach for me, give you a pillow. We're gonna do the edge of your glute med, a really common area. So it's kind of just off to the side of the big muscle in your glute max. You're gonna go right into that kind of the top corner of your, if you had a pocket back here, and you're gonna find the tightest point and angle into it, okay? Glute med, probably one area for me that I wish that I got this done. I don't know what happened. Did we draw cards at all? Why aren't you doing this to me?
I don't know.
4, glute med. Most common spot that I treat in the lower back area would be the lateral hip or posterior hip in this general area, in conjunction with low back pain. So very much connected, if you will, okay? Relative to the lower back, if you're gonna do some cross friction work, I would avoid hitting the spine itself with any of these massage guns that you're using. That's not the source of your pain in your lower back, okay? And it won't fix it. And if it hurts more afterwards, then you might be doing a little bit of the wrong thing, okay? Especially as it relates to bone, right? Working on the paraspinal muscles on the outside, just doing some light pressures and some cross friction is a little added bonus. This is 5.5, okay? This is not part of the original list, but I'm adding it in there because we're in the lower back region, and it's nice in conjunction with the hip and the low back, okay? So interdependence, connection between the two. We're working on it all. This is another area, so if I adjust people often, it's going to be TL junction. Listen, I can't, it's like, if I see it, I got to deal with it, honestly, when it comes to this stuff. So if I'm working on someone, they're like, hey, I'm hurting my knee, but I'm like, hey, let's talk about this right here. This is a little tight for you. This is definitely one thing that I would focus on for you, is just getting a little bit of mobility work right here. A little tighter. Really common spot to get a little more tension. Amelia's healthy, she's active, she moves well, she doesn't have much pain in her body, so I'm not like trying to create any problems here, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you'd move a little bit better if you could focus on that area yourself. I could just feel that pressure. All right, so lateral hip, okay? So I'm gonna find the greater trochanter here. I'm gonna work my way up to iliac crest. Those are my two kind of anatomical points, if you will. Sorry for poking into your side there. And then I'm gonna come down about halfway through, and I'm gonna work up just about an inch, okay? This is kind of where I can go ahead and I just feel tone. Right there's her spot, okay? There's her trigger point underneath my finger. I'm gonna create tension. And that's called a bullseye, relatively speaking. So that's a trigger point, a sensory point. If I'm on the right one like that, I can create a lot of good change in that area just by holding it. Woosah. Box breathing. 4 in, 4 out. Hold for 4.
Okay.
As we work that, okay? And so in this space, I can hook down and in. And then I'm going to hook right into the edge of that muscle, that myotendinous junction, where she's going to hold a lot of that tension, as well as going to feel really good on her hips if she's hurting, okay? A mentor of mine once said, and shout out to Brett Winchester, who's a chiropractor in Troy, Missouri, middle of nowhere, but doing awesome stuff out there and really good from an educational standpoint. Gestalt education, great stuff. A trigger point. What is a trigger point? It's a good thing in a poorly functioning system. And so to me, when I feel trigger points, they're more so kind of like messages that they need to be dealt with. I really do believe that, but they're letting me know something's going on around that area or in that area, and usually it's joint related. So now that I've got a little bit more relaxation for her, if you will, this is money. Okay, if you've gotten this far, it's worth it, because this is where the true price to admission to this video comes in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find that space, and she's gonna relax her leg for me. I'm gonna bring her leg up. Okay, so I've done my 60 to 90 seconds at this point, and I don't need to turn it up anymore. I can see she's like, all right, I'm questioning my choice of coming into this video, but this kind of feels good. I'm not gonna raise my hand so quickly when I ask for something next time. Shoot, I blew my options on that one. All right, but either way, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hook. I'm creating about like 3 to 5 pounds of pressure down. I'm gonna tell her, let me have your leg. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to stretch her across. She has good mobility in her hip joint. And then I'm gonna bring her back. And as she goes back, guess what she's gonna do? It's gonna be like opening up a door. I'm gonna be able to get a little deeper. And then what she's gonna find when I come back over, if she lets me, keep relaxing. There it is. Now I'm on it again. Feel that little pressure that we got going on. There you go. Pray to whatever deity you want to. We're in there, okay? And then I do that for about like 2-3 minutes back and forth. Now that she's like actually letting go, she's gonna be like, okay, this feels better. It's not like when you first came in and everything was really sensitive. Now you're like, well, actually you can press a little harder. I can just see her letting go. So I'm gonna give her a little firm pressure, straight across. All right, here, and straight back and forth, okay? The hip, okay. How was that by the end? Was it worth getting to that point?
Yeah, I got better.
Felt pretty, hopefully it felt pretty good. I don't want to put words in your mouth. All right.
I got better.
So last bit, you're good right where you are. We're gonna do your calf.
Okay.
There's a million things we put underneath our feet to make up for the fact that that we stress them out too much, and the way that we stress them out. But long story short, I often focus for foot, even plantar fascia, Achilles tendon, midfoot. I'm gonna look above. Usually they're just kind of getting beat up from mobility work in the joint and stiffness in the calf. So 3 different muscles, 3 different layers. She's already got a spot where she's literally running from me on. And we're gonna go a little bit more gentle. What do you say?
Yeah.
Oh, bring out the ice. Look at this. So the last 2 were the best ones. That's pretty cool. I've never seen a massage gun that has an applicator. What would you prefer, ice or heat?
Don't mind.
Ice it is. And so, it's already a little...
What do you think is better?
Good stuff, Bob and Brad and the marketing team behind this one. You guys are crushing it. Thanks for reaching out to us. This is an ice applicator. And when it comes to pain management, whatever feels good most often is the case relative to changing pain in a local area. When it comes to an acute injury, we tend to people to use a little bit more ice. If you put heat on a swollen thing, you can imagine that would create more swelling. And it's true, it does. All right, so we got a twofer. I like twofers. What do you feel about twofers?
Very good.
Best twofer in your life you've ever had? Go. Besides this calf massage? This is it?
Oh my gosh.
Go. All right.
Doing good.
So, she's trying to do a leg kick at me right now while we're doing this. We need to get this foot down. It's come alive.
Yes.
Go ahead. Drop that leg down. Drop that leg down. There you go. Good.
Oh,
all right.
Goodness.
So we're going to go into honestly, there's a couple different muscles that I work on. We start with just the superficial stuff. I'll go over the gastroc. And I can already tell that she's lovely over here for some work. Just due for it. You're due for a massage.
Yeah, probably.
Did I say that right?
Massage.
A massage.
Yep, that was good.
That was good. I lived in New Zealand once, so I should have a couple of your words.
Yeah.
your accent, same word. Loved Wellington. Wellington was a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Picton was one of my, I don't know why I like Picton so much. It was just so sleepy and like a little small boat town area.
Yeah.
It's where you gone to Picton before?
I think so. I know the ferry that goes across the islands lands there.
Yep.
So I've been there.
We stayed in Picton with some family.
Okay.
And then we went down, Queenstown, Wanaka.
Yep.
Queenstown and Wanaka were unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wanaka was a cool little rock climbing, sleepy town across the way. Mm-hmm. Queenstown's like the Vale of New Zealand. Do you know have you ever been to Vale?
No.
It's kind of like upscale ski town. Good mountain biking out there. Mm-hmm. All right. Pin and stretch for this area. So I've done my 60 seconds. How was the ice, by the way?
It feels good.
Nice.
It like relaxes it a little bit.
Okay, I gotta get some myself here.
Yeah.
All right. So, it's got a little charger on there. Pin and stretch. Calf does one thing really. It just kind of plantar flexes, dorsiflexes the foot. There's some kind of components of eversion and inversion to it, but don't worry about that. If you got this down, you're way ahead of the game. I'm going to go to this lovely knot that she has here. That's starting to be a little bit more chill. And I'm going to stretch, okay? This is for soleus and posterior tib, and then if I want to get the gastroc involved, I'll take her over to the edge here. Go ahead and let me have your leg. I got you. Let me that leg. There we go. And then you're going to straighten it out. Go ahead. If you can actively do it, that's even better. Oh. And then bring your toes to your shin. Other shin.
Oh.
There you go. The left side of your body should be feeling pretty money right now.
Yeah.
I've kind of been working it, haven't I?
Yeah.
All right, so if you've gotten this far, Bob and Brad discount code below. Not bad with the ice application. I'm sure the heat is sweet too. And then I like the heaviness of it. I like the multiple heads. That's kind of standard relative to some of these. I saw the pricing. It's really affordable, I think. So check it out if you need something. And if this helps you take care of yourself or somebody else and it opens you up for being proactive about taking care of your body, that's a win in its own right. So you should get it just for that. And then if you need some help on more videos with this in the future, and if you got questions on things that I could show you, I'd be happy to do it. So just shoot it below and we'll do a follow-up, Bob and Brad massage gun. Thanks for partnering with us, Bob and Brad, and you guys take care, and thanks for watching.